Well, this focus session is slowly but surely coming to an end. Again, our purpose today was to share with you some details on our implementation of non-time critical payments in TIPS. As usual, I'm taking notes during the session, and I would like to share with you some of my takeaways today. So we started with Fabrizio, and then Fabrizio explained to us that the NTC is actually not a novelty. It's already implemented successfully in various places in the world. And one of the prominent cases being the Netherlands, for instance, we heard that there is a special code to differentiate from regular instant payments. Useful clarification from him was also that we want to increase the speed for some relevant use cases, but of course, not at the cost or without impacting the pace of settlement of instant payment. And of course, Fabrizio covered several use cases covering both the bulk and the non-bulk payments. For the bulk, it's salaries, pensions, for instance. Thank you, Fabrizio. That was very, very useful. Then we moved to a very interested panel. We heard first from Martijn the benefits that NTCs bring in the Netherlands, and that is to recall flexibility. So no need to reinitiate the payment compared to a channel where it would be fully instant. And there is a very high percentage of NTCs being processed at the same pace as an instant payment. Martijn did not give the figures, but out of my head, I kind of recall that the NTCs are in, my figure was 98%, above 98% processed like instant payments, which is a tremendous improvement. Michael mentioned the value of using for 24/7 rates for that. Also the value for the businesses of receiving the confirmation from the beneficiary bank very quickly. Michael also highlighted the challenges sometimes for bulk payments, and from that perspective, the time matters, so the speed of payment matters, but the ability to plan and the certainty is also very important. And that combination of elements, so time, but also certainty, makes the demand for NTC quite important. Then we had Carl, and Carl confirmed the value of leveraging on the instant payment rails. Interestingly, we heard from him as well that trying to process everything as instant payment could lead to contention from the sizing perspective, meaning that the days that you would have really high peaks, or the moments, actually not the days, the moments that you would have really high peaks would result in a sizing of the platform that would not be cost effective. And from that perspective, this gives a room for NTCs to deliver value. Finally, we heard from Martijn about the changes. I think that was really an important element, because that's something we hear sometimes, that it would require changes to the back end of the banks. We heard that those changes are indeed necessary, but they're limited, and that they quickly outweigh. They are quickly outweighed by the benefits of NTCs. And we heard as well that NTCs also reduce, in a way, complexity in the payment chain. So again, a big thank for the moderation, Karen, but also for the outstanding contribution from the panelists. Thank you again. Last but not least, we had a great introduction from Andrea to the technicality of NTCs in TIPS. We heard about the suffix at the level of the message envelopes, and also the changes or the elements in the payload to differentiate between NTCs and standard instant payments. So Andrea explained how the requirement to support NTCs without affecting the IP channel translate into design principles, and concretely it means that there will be a new NTC component in TIPS to segregate from the IP flows. This component will be connected from directly to the core modules to orchestrate the settlement. We heard about, I mean, I like a lot the term, the notion of waiting list as a mean to optimize liquidity, and also the smart reattempt, Andrea, that's really a good term. So the fact that the reattempts would be done when we noticed that liquidity was received from the debtor account. So that's very interesting. Andrea, very clear your explanation, and thank you for that. And maybe to conclude, we had today quite a good attendance, and we managed, I hope, to answer most of the questions that were raised in the chat. We are, of course, happy to see that there is a continued interest in these focus sessions. And again, a big thank to all speakers today. Once more, also a big thank for the backstage team for the outstanding organization. And I hope that you found this session insightful. And of course, we are happy to welcome you in other focus sessions that we will plan in the near future. Now it's time for me. Ellen, you said we are a bit late. I think we are just 1 or 2 minutes late, but it's time for me to wish you a good lunch and a good afternoon. So Ellen, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimitri. So it's super pleasant to have you on board. So thanks for joining us today.